Hey everyone, it's Sam here. Thank you for watching. So today I'm going to show you how to make this really easy slider card. So I've done it as a Halloween card, but you could do this for any theme and you can use anything that you already have in your stash. So you just pull the tab and it will reveal a hidden message and whatever you have attached will move up. Have a spectacular day, and I've just got Boo in the middle, and then when you open the card you've got your space there to stamp and write your message, and you can display this, you know, just normally. So really easy, just a fun little kinetic style. So let me show you how I made it. I'll keep that one just there. For this one, I'm going to use the witch. So I've used pretty much something from all of the sets from my Halloween collection. So I'll have all this linked in the description box below. And then I'm also using the pull from my Actions stamp set as well. So you want your 5x7 card blank. I've then got a piece of 4 3/4 by 6 3/4 mirrored card. So I'm going to get that one stuck down first. Next, you want to cut yourself a piece of 4.5 by 6 inch card, and this is the main decorative piece that you're going to have on the front. So this may be pattern paper if you don't want to do any stamping or anything, but I've just created this other spooky background here. I'll link the Distress Oxide colours that I've used for this one. They're the same as what I've used on a recent pop-up card on my Made to Surprise channel, and I'll link the colours that I used on this one. And if you want to see how I made this one in real time, I'll share the Facebook Live below in the description box as well. So I've got this piece here, and then this is my pull piece. And what I've done on this one is I've just done the same inky background, because you'll see when this moves, you want this to kind of still match. So if you're using a pattern paper, you're going to want to make sure that you can kind of piece it together. If it's a really busy like polka dot or something, it's not going to matter. But if it's like a scene or something that's like floral and something, then you may want to just have a look at that and see if it's going to work. This piece here is 5.5 by 3.5. 1 3/4 is what I've got for my message, and I'm just going to get all of the pieces stamped. So if you want to do any embossing, if you want to heat emboss on this, do it all before you stick it down. I did do this once I'd stuck it down because I'd forgot that I wanted to heat emboss it, but it all worked out fine in the end. So for this one here, because it's going to be the witch flying over, and I've got other bits and pieces to add to this as well, it's going to have to be wishing you a happy Halloween, I think. Now I'm hoping that's going to fit. Now you also have to bear in mind that when this slides back down, you've got 1/2 inch that you can still see where the pull's going to be. So what I would recommend doing is just mark 1/2 inch just lightly there, and then again you can see where you want to put your message. So you should have about 1 1/4. Now I don't think that's going to oh yes, it will actually. It's just going to fit. Or do I have Boo again and wishing you a happy Halloween? I actually have on there. I think I'm going to do that. Yeah, because the Boo I know does work. So I'm going to stamp the Boo, and I'm also going to stamp the pull. Get all that done at the same time. Okay, so I'm just going to put that to one side to dry. And then I'm just thinking with this one, I think I might do it in black. You can see how it looks there in the white, but I think I'm going to use black embossing powder, so there's a bit of shine to it. So that's all heat set. Really like the shine that that gives, and it does really pop even though it's in black. Then what I did to get my kind of sliding part there is I used this die here from a Spellbinders rectangle die set. Any thin rectangle that you have will work for this. However, I'm going to do this one without a die because I've put without dies in the title. But if you have something like this, then use it. It's just obviously a bit easier. But for anybody that doesn't, then what you'll need to do is flip this piece over, and first of all, mark the middle of this part. So it's 4.5, so you want to mark it 2 1/4, and then 2 1/4 along the top, and join that up. I'm actually going to make this one a little bit thinner. I'm not going to have it as thick as on that card. Okay, then you want to mark 1 inch up from the bottom. Okay, and then I'm going to do it the same height as this piece. So it was 3 3/8. So from that 1 inch, I'm then going to mark 3 3/8. 5/8. So that's the top. So that's where it's going to stop. And let's just check. That's about just over 1.5 from the top. And let's just check on this one. It's saying 1 5/8 definitely on that one. So I'm going to just make sure that's 1 5/8. So it's just slightly under. Okay. And then I'm just going to let's make it 1/4 inch wide. So I'm just going to pop a little pencil mark either side. I'm sitting the 1/4 inch right over the line. So it's right in the middle of the line, and then just marking either side. So you've got 1/8 inch either side of the line there. Don't worry if it's not exact, but make sure it's dead straight, because obviously you want it to slide nice. So I'm just going to just line those up. So yeah, so the width of my piece is 1/4 inch, whereas this one here is more like 1/2 inch. Okay, and just going to join that up along the top. And now using my metal ruler and a cutting knife. Now you could use your trimmers as well. So if you've got a trimmer like this, then you can just pop that in and you'll be able to line it up with your ruler here and the little markers on your little cutting blades there. So you can do it on a trimmer as well, but I'm going to use it with a cutting knife, and I'm just going to keep it, but I don't like using, I prefer using this when I'm cutting close to my fingers. And then just push down and push your knife into your metal ruler, nice and straight, and then again. Now you want to keep this piece as well, so you want to make sure it's nice and neat, because you're going to stick this onto the back of the card so it pieces it all back together again. So just try and make sure you do that all in one cut, which I think I've managed to do. Just got a little bit there. There we go. Okay, so keep that piece, because that's going to piece your seam back together again. So that's what we can do next. So take your card blank, which mine's all dry now, and you're going to sit this towards the bottom so you've got an equal frame. Okay, you should have about 1/2 inch at the top there. I'm going to put some double-sided tape on this, and I'm going to stick it by piecing it back in to the middle there, but you're not attaching this main piece, it's just this little strip. So I'm going to use a thin red tape here because I'm attaching it to the mirrored card. If you've just got a normal coloured card there, then you could just use your liquid glue on this piece. Okay, so again, lay this down so you've got a nice equal border on the sides and the bottom, and then stick that back in. Okay, so we can take that away. So what that means is now when the witch lifts here, that will be shown, and then when she comes back down, that's when this will then piece that background. Okay, you might not need to colour all that I just did. So if you see on this one, if it moves, there's a little bit of white just showing either side. I'm not going to have that now with this one. Okay, so next I'm going to take some of the black foam squares from Craft Stash, and I'm just going to cut a thin strip, and I'm going to attach it down the middle of my width. So I want to make sure she's up right, and I want to have it running right from the bottom and then right up to the top, because they will also become the stopper for how far you pull it up and push it back down. So I'm just sitting those two like so. Now I'm going to slide this one over the top down to where you would have put a little pencil mark, and you'll find it would just cover the bottom there as well. And then again I'm going to sit that back in place. Okay, take the backing off the foam, and I'm going to place her so that she sticks to this tab, and I need to pop a tiny piece underneath her hat so that it stops right at the top. So you just want to make sure that you have your foam running from the very bottom of whatever it is that you're sticking on here right to the very top. Again, make sure that's all lined up. So now when I pull it up, you can see it stops there, and it will stop when I push it down as well. Okay. Then you want to add foam all around here and all down the sides there. And then just position that back so you've got that equal border, like so. So now when we pull this up, you'll see you get the reveal of the piece that you've stuck to this silver piece. And then when it goes back down again, you get all of this blending in with the front here. So really easy style. Like I said, you can use this with anything. I've just got my Papercraft Society kit here because I just want to show you some other ideas, because this style will work great now with anything you've got. But if you've got this kit, you've got the snowman on the parachute. If you've got a snowy scene, then you can imagine your snowman lifting. You've got the angel there, and I think Father Christmas on his plane will be brilliant with the sky behind as your background. So I think I'm going to revisit it maybe for a 6x6 size, so that's on there as well. And I think I'm going to use some of these and do a couple of Christmas cards with it. So now I've got some other little bits of decoration here to go along the bottom. So I stamped the trees using the tree stamps here from the Spooky Fun set. You've got also in this set is where I've got the fence, but rather than stamping it, I'm just keeping the silhouette. And I thought having those, that's why I've stamped the trees slightly higher, because the fence is going to cover. And I'm going to lift the fence up on some foam. I can have those there. And I thought we could have a little bit of a pumpkin patch and bring in a bit of orange, because I've coloured some of her in orange there. And then to finish it off, if you've been following a lot of my Halloween makes, I've been using the glow in the dark paint. It's really good. All of my Halloween makes are glowing at the moment when I turn the lights off after I've finished for the day crafting. So I'm going to be using that and just going over some of these watermarks. The pumpkins are from this set here, which is the Haunting Times. There's also your coffins and your tombstones and gravestones there. And then the witch is from this set along with the Dracula there. You get Dracula and the witch, you get the silhouette of her as well, and then you get your boo and spiders and bats. So I may stamp a couple of bats. I think definitely can get away with that, because there's some nice small ones in this set here, so I'll probably do that as well. But I'm going to pop it on high speed and get these pieces all stuck down. So I've stamped the bats, and then I'm just adding a little bit of shine just onto the witch's hands and her face there. And then I'm going to use the glow in the dark paint. I think I'm going to do it over the bats and then do like a few dots. So I'll just bring it up a bit closer there. So I can't move her now. She's just going to have to dry. They take about 1 to 2 hours. These bigger ones are going to take longer, so I'll just leave them overnight now. So it's now the next day. I thought I'd edit this in just to show you how it looks when they dry. So you would have just seen these as, you know, quite big dots, whereas you can see now they've sunk down and dried completely matte. And then I'm going to turn the lights off, and hopefully you'll see just how well they glow. So I've got a backlight still on, but I think it does show it really well, and it is the morning. But you can see all of the, you know, if you do all different sizes, how good that looks along the bottom of the trees there, and then those larger ones. But you can go mad with it. Like I said, they do dry completely matte, and you can see hopefully that one probably not as much. I didn't do them as heavy on this one. I think if you do them a bit thicker, you can see there it glows so well. So thank you as always for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this fun slider card from me today. All the product that I use is always linked below in the description box, along with all the other links to my social channels and things like that. Popping up now will be some other kinetic cards that don't require any dice. You might want to watch those ones next. And as I always say, if you're not subscribed and you've enjoyed today, please subscribe and hit the notification bell, and that way you won't miss any future videos. Take care, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye.